welcome to Master the Piano. For our chords, we're at lesson 4 today and we'll be building on everything that we've learnt so far. So you should know major and minor chords, root position, first position and second position, and now today we'll be going through primary chords, what they are, how to use them, and why they're so important for harmonising your own music. Stick around, I hope you enjoy. Hi and welcome to lesson 4. So what we're going to be doing is building on what we did in lesson 3. We'll be looking at primary chords. So again, as a quick review, chords are just groups of notes that we put down. They can be put down at the same time as a block chord or broken up as an arpeggio. Major chords will sound happy. To make it sad, lower the third note. And then we can also do them as different inversions. So root position, first inversion, second inversion. And that's a basic summary of chords. And if you read music apart from stave music, you'll also notice that different symbols are used. So 1A will be telling us tonic chord, root position. 1B will be first inversion. 1C will be second inversion. A capital M is usually used for major chords, while a lowercase m is used for minor chords. So it's very easy to see what chord you should be playing if you don't want to read all the lines and spaces, which can sometimes get a little tedious. So to improvise a melody with chords, or to improvise any song with chords, you need to know 3 basic chords. These are the primary chords, or triads. Triads because it's 3 notes put at the same time. So you've already learnt the first one actually, and that's the tonic chord. Obviously we need to know the key of the scale before we can play the tonic chord. So let's say I'm in G major. My tonic chord is going to be G, and then build a chord on that, we need B and D. The other really important chords are the 4th and the 5th. So the 4th is actually called the subdominant chord. So in C major, 1, 2, 3, 4, you take the 4th note and you build a chord on this. So in this case it's F, A and C. This means that F major chord is not just F major, it's also the subdominant of C major. So we're looking at chords within chords. How confusing is that? So let's try that again. In C major, my subdominant is F. I build a chord of the F to form the F major chord. The other important chord is the 5th chord, or the dominant chord. So tonic, subdominant, the dominant chord, that's the G, and I'm going to do the same thing, build a chord off the G. So we've got G, then a B, then a D. Put that down at the same time. Now we use only the 1st, 4th and 5th because these are based on the perfect intervals. So intervals is a term given to the distance between 2 notes. So let's say I'm in G major. From G to B, I would call this interval an interval of the 3rd. 1, 2, 3. So that's a 3rd. Let's say I'm in F major and I do this. This is an interval of a 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now intervals can be further qualified as being belonging to the major, the minor, or perfect. So let's say I've got a major scale. This is now a major 3rd. To make a minor interval, I take it 1 semitone less. That's why for our triads we went from major to minor. We lowered the 3rd from a major 3rd to a minor 3rd. Now you may be wondering, yeah, okay, but what about the 5th note? Well, the 5th and the 4th are special. They're called perfect intervals. They're perfect because these notes are played in the major scale and in the minor scale. So let me show you what I mean. Here is A major. It's got C sharp, F sharp and G sharp. This is the major chord. In A minor, I keep the 4th and the 5th note, so watch very carefully at the D and the E. You would have noticed that the A, the D and the E remain the same. So that's why these are called perfect intervals. They are common to both major scales and minor scales. And because of that, we use these chords, chords 4, chord 5 and chord 1, to form cadence chords. So a cadence chord is a set of 2 chords that will finish off a piece. So let's say I'm in C major. A cadence will be from... So you can play anything and it will still sound good if you end it. A chord progression 5 to 1, what I just played, is known as the perfect cadence, and it will go from the 5th chord, so the dominant, in the case of C major, that was G, to chord 1, which is C. And no matter which way you put those letters down, remember you can do it in root position, first inversion, second inversion, it will still sound good. Let me give you another example. See, it'll still sound finished. Chord 4 to chord 1 is known as the plagal cadence, and that's used for more religious music, particularly Western religious music, and it gives us that sort of amen sort of turn. You can almost imagine a choir singing that chord. They frequently do. So, as I said before, you can fool around with these chords. There's a lot of freedom in however you want to approach them. So what we're going to do now is get you to try improvising. So what I've done is I've written out the tune, the melody, for Happy Birthday. It's in the key of F major, and let's go through it together. There's no changes in rhythm, there's no phrasing, there's nothing really, it's just the bare bones, the notes. It's up to you to fool around with it and treat it as a fun exercise. So I'm going to play this now. C, C, D, C, F, C, 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 stretch A, F, E, D, B flat, A, F, G, F. So that's the basic bare bones. Not very exciting. We could play it with some rhythm. And that sounds a little bit better, but it's still a little bit bland, a little bit empty. So what I'm going to do is play from the tonic chord, which we know is F major, but I'm going to do it as not a root chord, but I'm going to do it as a second inversion. So, but I'm going to do it 1 octave lower, so it's going to sit nicely in my left hand. Was C, F, A. Now for the G, we can't keep using C, F, A because it doesn't always sound so good. What you could do is play E and G. So we're moving to the chord of C. C major chord here. C, F, A. For the B flat, we could do D, F, and B flat. C major chord, and from C major chord to F, let's see, in the key of F, find out what number is the C. So F, G, A, B, C. I went from a chord 5 to a chord 1, meaning I ended in a perfect cadence. So that's why it sounded finished. Fool around with it. I hope you enjoy playing it. And have a look at the information I printed off about the names of chords. You do not have to know this from memory, but it is good. What we do is we play the C major chord, tonic, supertonic, mediant, subdominant, that's the important one, dominant, the other important one, submediant, leading note, and the upper tonic. Now, as you would have noticed, I began each of those chords with the letters from the C major scale. I just built the chords on top. So don't worry too much about that, just worry about the tonic, subdominant, and the dominant chords for now. I hope you enjoyed your lesson, and I'll see you soon. Phew, that was our 4th lesson together, all about primary chords, how they're used, and why they're so important for ending songs. So once you know a good set of primary chords for whatever key you're in, you'll be able to make every piece sound great. I'll see you at our next lesson. Bye!